At Case & Associates, there's just a real sense of family.
And they've been there through thick and thin with me over the years.
She's been there not only as a mentor, she's seen me through the adoption of my children.
And they were always there for me.
They genuinely care about the employee. They've built this great company for us.
Many of the people that you'll talk to have been around for so long, and there's a reason for that.
We've had a lot of adventure throughout the years.
He's such a role model for me.
Took the time to come down and train me and teach me the ropes. She was there along the way.
It is a career. It is not just a job.
Truly, truly blessed to be able to be a part of it.
It's truly inspiring.
And we love how you pour everything into your employees, and that's really what's made us stay here.
I wouldn't ever think of working for anybody other than Case & Associates.
People ask me, what has been the secret to your success? And there's never an easy answer, but mine's always the same. The secret to our success is people, pure and simple, people. Oh, it's super scary because the position I was in, I was making for the time very good money, but my desire to be out on my own, more time with the family, just kind of overtook it. I tell the story that when I finally decided to do this, hadn't even told my wife. So I went back in my bathroom and actually knelt down and prayed and said, God, I'm gonna do this. I hope you're gonna be with me, and I want you to be my partner.
And I must admit I was nervous about that. If he gets something on his mind, it's gonna happen. And it's always been that way, through high school, and so he's always been a hard-working guy.
He understood that if he really wanted to kind of break loose of that 60 to 70 hour work weeks, that he was going to have to go out on his own. And man, as a kid, it was kind of scary. We lived a good life. He was making good money, but at that time, I knew how hard he worked and what was required of him. Not that when he started his company, he worked any less. He worked just as hard, but his work ethic was truly family-oriented. He was doing it for the family.
In the very beginning, we were a very small company, and I was fortunate enough to be hired by Mike on a handshake before we ever did paper applications. I think he had a dream of how he wanted to do things. He had worked for other property companies, and he had learned a lot of things, but felt he could do it better. Mike is a wonderful man who had a great dream that was able to bring all of us in and dream even bigger and to allow the company to grow. When I think of this company, I think of family, and I'm just very fortunate to be a small part of the growth of this company over the years.
Even when we started the company, I didn't set a goal to be the largest management or owner in the region. I wanted a company that was well run, professionally run. I wanted people to have confidence in us. I wanted us to have the loyalty to our customers and our clients and our employees. What we want to do is all that we can do, the best that we can do. And if that means the market turns on us and we don't build any more apartments, we got plenty of apartments to run. We can stay busy.
The time in which my dad started Case & Associates there in the early 80s, it was a really, really tough time. And what most people would see as a problem, my dad saw as an opportunity. And he was really good at problem solving and managing, as that's what he did for his previous boss.
Well, my Case and I got together when he came right out of Sand Springs High School. He went to work for the company. and the company and Mike kind of grew together. When he left, he was managing 25,000 units of multifamily scattered around 16 states. His greatest ability is knowing how to trade with someone. He gets good feedback from the individual he's trading with, and he's extremely successful at that.
But he saw that there was a huge opportunity to do some third-party management for those lenders during that time, which ultimately led to him managing the properties and then ultimately buying some of the first assets, that some of which we still own today.
The cube.
The cube.
The cube.
The case cube.
You know the red cubes?
It's still the cube. It's always going to be the cube.
People recognize that red cube.
We had now picked up maybe 15, 20 properties in Tulsa, and I just got tired of seeing the 4x8 plywood sheets tacked to two before saying now leasing or whatever. I approached our advertising guy at the time and told him my thought.
He said, I want the best, and I certainly wanted something better than what my competitors have.
But more important than anything, whatever that sign is, if I didn't put my name on it, everybody would still know who it was.
And so J Brothers went to work and came up with the cube. Legend has it originally each side of the cube was a different color. And I don't think Mike liked that very much.
It's a beach ball. I mean, it was orange and red and yellow, each side like a Rubik's Cube or a beach ball. It was just, I said, I kind of like it, but it's cheap. So we went through a few iterations, went to blue and went to yellow. And then when we finally saw the red, all the red on all sides, it just popped, and it was very noticeable, but wasn't really cheap looking. We said, that's it.
They set it up on its side and up on the point and made it into the red cube that everybody knows today. And it's one of those things when you talk to somebody from another state or another place you're in, and they're familiar with Tulsa or one of the markets we're in. When you tell them, are you familiar with the red cubes? And like, oh yeah, we know exactly what that is. So it was kind of brilliant back in the day of having that to visually set ourselves apart from the other projects out there.
It represents a lot of things, I think, in Mike's life, and a lot of people relate Case & Associates to that cube.
Everybody knows what it is. They may not recognize the fact that it says Case or it said Case & Associates, but people recognize that red cube.
It is our symbol. When you see it, you know that you are in good hands. It's a good thing to see if you're looking for a place to live.
The cube to us represents Case & Associates. It represents the foundation, the faith that this company has, but also being proud of something. We're proud of our communities, we're proud of our people, and I think that cube to me means pride.
Everything seems to revolve around that symbol. It stands for the company and everything the company has become.
And it's really your first impression as you drive by, walk by, or travel by. And it's very impressive, and it does catch your attention, and it requires, that you're able to back that up. And it embodies our standard.
I know that every property is different, but to me, it means that the staff there is doing the best they can to make it the best property possible. I think when I see the cube, I think of the hard hours that people work there on staff to make that property the best it can be, and I also think of the impact on the community that our properties make.
it was huge news. It was frontline news in our state, where we had community leaders go up on a hunting trip, and unfortunately, flying in Alaska, and just a Beaver plane, just a plane that floats and takes off from the water, a lot of times it faces weather conditions and where the wings will ice over, and you can't fly in that.
We were hunting caribou in the tip of the Arctic Circle. We were coming back from a hunt, and we stalled the plane on our descent, and we crashed into a lake, and the fuselage broke in half.
As I understood it, Mike was, he himself was severely injured, broken bones or thing, yet somehow he found a way to tread water, and not only that, but also recognize the folks in trouble.
Mike made a 2-minute decision that saved my life, and but you know, it was, if it wasn't for him, a lot of us wouldn't have got through that.
When I think of him, I think superhero, because Mike and what he did was heroic.
He is truly what everyone thinks he is. In a pressure situation like that, he's the guy that you want out there with you.
At that time, you know, Scott was certainly in upper management, but hadn't really been any conversations about it. And I knew he was ready. I wasn't getting any younger either, but I knew he was ready. It was just going to be the time, and I felt like the time was right. It was kind of a surprise to him too, I think.
My dad had scheduled dinner for the family, which was fairly common for us to do. At the end of dinner, he gave me a business card that said, R. Scott Case, President. Really at that moment that I knew that, you know, the trust that he had in me to continue the family business and the legacy that he has started. It was just, at that moment, it was that transition, and no, that was big for me, because as a son, there's nothing greater that you could do than to please your father. So, with that, it was that moment. I mean, it was emotional. It was joyous, and you know, I have to say that was one of the biggest moments in my career here at Case.
I just thought it'd be kind of cool to have the family dinner and just pull it out and hand it to him and say, "Do you accept this?" It was a cool moment.
You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel alright. But kind you wanna stay up with all night.
One of the key things that I kept hearing and reading was that the importance and the value of maintaining a positive corporate culture. And it's not something that just happens. I mean, it's something that happens from the top. It's Dad created a great corporate culture, and you know, as I was working some summers on site in the 80s and kind of worked my way in each department, you realize how critically important each position is to the success of your company. There's really no position that's of less value than the other. We all equally contribute to the success of the company. Corporate culture is one of the most important things in my mind to continue a great company and the legacy that my dad has started.
The spirit of mentorship, it was there for myself, it's been there. We believe in promoting from within. It starts, I believe, with that foundation. Because if you start at the bottom and you work your way up, then you kind of understand everybody's position, everybody's job, and it allows you to have empathy for everybody out on site. And it just gives you a clarity of what the purpose that we're here to fulfill and what direction we need to continue to move. But it also, in the midst of all that, it provides growth and opportunity for people.
And then that kind of helps the culture too. People like to see their friends or their seniors that actually grow through the company. It gives them a thought that they've got that same chance, and they do.
What I can tell you is, because I'm such an anxious person, I always think I'm gonna get fired. And no matter what you do, their first reaction is always to develop you. And every mistake is a learning experience. And I think that speaks to who they are when they see you and they know that you can do better and they really want to teach you. And I think that I believe that because that's what's been instilled in me.
It's not just a job. It's a family work culture, and there is a sense of security here that you don't find with, I don't believe, a lot of companies or companies that I have been with previously.
They really genuinely care about employees and their well-being. We are a family that works together to fulfill a common goal.
If you work hard for the company, they'll take care of you. It's provided me a lot of opportunity.
The culture has inspired me to just be better physically, emotionally, spiritually. I feel like I'm a better person since being at Case. It's just a company I'm super happy to be a part of.
You feel like your employers actually care, they're accessible. It's just a good place to work. I've felt it since the day that I started, and in awe of the company the more years that go by. That's why I've never left, never will.
We've got a lot of people that have been with us for anywhere from 30 to 39 years. We've only been open 40 years, and we refer to our employees as a Case family because it's kind of what it is. It's a big family. It started as a small family, but it's a big family now, and we feel that way. They're part of our family.
You gotta find your people, then you'll find yourself. You gotta find your people, then you'll find yourself.
Scott and I came in, and we've just been able to build upon their foundation as well as the ground foundation that Mike set. I think it's really the two F's, and anybody that knows me knows there's a third F, but we're not going to talk about that third F. That first F was foundation, and that second F would be family. And I think that's what a family is. It's based on a foundation, and you build relationships up, no matter whether they're your work family or your blood family, if you will.
Where I see Case and Associates going in the future is to continue to grow and continue to do the same thing that we've done, always improving. It is important for us to always be on the cutting edge of some of this new technology and attend some of the conferences and the seminars that are displaying some of this new technology, because it's changing. It changes rapidly.
I think we'll continue to be innovative with our marketing. I mean, marketing's changed. We used to do, go out on site and we used to hit the streets, and now marketing is really internet marketing. We've just introduced a new AI. We're always, pushing the boundaries. I think our vision is just to continue to move forward and be number one in the market.
So hearing the story and how everything started, Mike's dad was a faithful pastor and passed away suddenly. And Mike just had that conviction that he had to work hard and do what he could for his family. And to me, the core of who he is just always led him to figure out the next step, to take risk, and everything growing until the vision of launching Case and Associates, and to see where it is now. It tells you that these are people of faith, vision, risk-taking, incredibly hard workers, and persevering, because you don't build something like this that is now built to last without the kind of characteristics that they have. And it just amazes me to see all that's been done. But if you know them, you're not so amazed. It's the result of who they are.
There's a proverb that says the world of the generous gets larger and larger. And to see that come to pass in their life and continue to do it because of the vision that they have to impact their world is certainly something that we have been honored to see.
When you start talking about Case Associates, you're talking about a guy that's extremely loyal to not only to family, but he's loyal to employees, he's loyal to vendors, he's loyal to everyone involved with the company. But then when you take it outside of Case and Associates, you see the determination and you see the compassion along with that. And so you get to see how, some of the things he's done with University of Tulsa is one that he's kind of adopted and done a lot for. But they've also worked with ORU, they've worked with Oklahoma State University, and those are the ones that I know about. There's things that I don't know of that they do all over. Sometimes you hear about it, sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's something you find out later on down the road. What was it, the 90 or 100 scholarships that they provide at TU every year for students? I never heard of them talking about that. That's a big deal for some people,
He has made contributions across the entire region. If you go out to Sand Springs, which is where he came to Oklahoma after his father passed away, you can see the Mike Case Park there, and that's obviously an important part of his legacy. But across the city, you see his handiwork. He's been one of the leading philanthropists in a city filled with extraordinary philanthropists. So you'll see buildings all across campus that bear his name. But really, many of his contributions don't bear his name. People don't recognize, because it's not visible, the millions of dollars he gives to help students attend the university, to benefit low-income Tulsans who might want to come and get a TU education. So that's an enormous contribution that most people don't recognize, but is equally as impactful as any building he has made, and I know is as close to his heart as any building that's named after him.
Mike does a lot behind the scenes that people never hear about and don't know. And I think if truth be told, he probably didn't want his name on some of those things, but they are. And Mike has done a tremendous amount for this city, both with his money and with his time.
When we're talking about love of community, it's making a meaningful difference in what we do at St. Francis. Mike has been on the board since 2006 and has served as chairman of our finance committee. And he came in more prepared than anyone. He knew his numbers, and he would be involved whether or not it was physician integration or keeping an eye out on drug costs. But Mike would come in there with his papers about yay high and go over everything with a fine-tooth comb. Since his arrival, our health system has grown sixfold. But the thing that I'm most proud of is what we call a community benefit. Basically, community benefit is what St. Francis comes out of pocket to either pay for those people that can't afford health care or subsidize emergency room or services that don't make money. And if you were to add up that financial impact, it's $1.4 billion that we've given back to the community since Mike has been on the board. What he's done, what he's accomplished has really improved the lives of so many.
He came from such humble beginnings, so he knows how people have struggled. Even though he wants to share his success with all of his employees, he wants to do it with his community. And everybody sees that, and that's just another thing that we appreciate about him is how giving he really is. So we're very lucky.
One thing that I really love about this place is stories. There's so many stories here. I'm so thankful that God has given me an opportunity like this to be able to say things to encourage people and to pray with them. And I'm so thankful that we're in a place that it's okay to do that. I'm so thankful that I've been able to actually see the heart of Mike and Scott, and as it's been said many times, the generosity that they both put forward to all of us.
A few years back, my husband was hurt in an accident and was paralyzed from the waist down. And for him to be able to go back to work at that time, he was going to have to get into leg braces to be able to help that happen while I was having issues with the insurance company, this, that, and the other. And it was several thousands of dollars at that time. Well, my old boss shows up. She brought a check over to my office that day so that I could get braces to get my husband back to work because we had 4 kids at the time. And it was for Mike. It just kind of goes to show the generosity and caring that they have, because at that time I didn't know what I was going to do. And they've been there through thick and thin with me over the years. And I am blessed to call Case my home.
I'd had some very difficult personal things go on in my life over the time, and not one time did I not know that either Case and Associates and everybody involved had my back. They gave me the support I needed, and they were always there for me. But I always had my Case family to fall back on. They were always there for me, to give me love, support, anything I needed. So yeah, Case is very important to me, extremely important to me. It's a big part of my life. And it's, I've spent more than half of my lifetime with this company, and it's made a huge impact on me. And I'm forever grateful for that.
The way I would describe Case and Associates, if I could just choose one word, would be community.
Be like connected.
It would be connected.
I would say foundation.
It's team.
Right off the bat, I'd say dependable.
Professional.
Loyalty.
If I was to describe Case and Associates in one word, it would be resilience.
Quality.
If I could sum up Case in one word, it would be opportunity.
Opportunity.
Personable.
Amazing.
Difficult, but amazing. Amazing would be the word that I would use.
I think I would just say awesome.
Be remarkable.
If I could describe Case and Associates in one word, it would be family.
It would be family.
It would be family.
It's family.
Is family.
It would be family.
I'd say family.
It would be family.
It's simple. It's family.
This is my home.
Cheers to 40 years, you smart man.
Cheers to 40 years.
Cheers to 40 years.
Cheers to 40 years.
Cheers to 40 years.
Cheers to 40 years!